Hey folks, Toki Rob. Let me get past this radio. Alright, I don't know if it's going to pick that radio up in the background, but I'll try to make this quick. I'm coming out here to pick this big onion. We got some rainy weather coming in. And these are all so close to being at the end of their bulbing process, I guess is what I should say. But let me put this camera down. And it's right over here. And I just want to make sure I didn't get accused of getting this onion somewhere else. But the neck is soft. It just hasn't fell over yet. But I don't want it to soak up any more moisture. Now this is probably the largest onion out here. I'll get an outside diameter tape. I've got one in the house, but this here's the probably the largest one. You can see it's large. So I've got to grab a few more of these. I've got some on a rack. I got to move just in case it does rain. But we'll get back to this onion here in a little bit. All right, I'm back. I pulled a few more onions. I got out here earlier. I picked blueberries. I picked squash, cucumbers, and that's about it, I think, as far as what I harvested this morning. I'll throw up a few pictures of what I harvested, and we'll talk a little bit about gardening. Wind's picking up a little bit. Probably going to clear off now. But trying to back up out of here. Maybe I can get out of the wind. I've had several questions, what I'm going to do with all those onions, all those potatoes. Well, I don't have a specific reason why I grow that many. I've got the space, and if I have a bad harvest year, at least I'll get more. Anything above that is just extra, and it's not something that I plan for. Most people that garden to put up food for the winter always plan extra. That just in case something happens and you don't get a bumper harvest. The more you plant, the more chances you'll have that you'll get enough to get you through the winter. Now I'm going to talk about why I grow some of the varieties. Mainly cucumbers. Normally all I grow is a pickling cucumber. I don't need a slicing variety cucumber for one reason mainly, is the pickling cucumber can do everything a slicing variety does. Just because it has a label pickling, that doesn't mean you can't slice it and eat it just like you would a slicing variety. And there's a couple advantages, I think, for pickling cucumbers. One of them is you can pick them at a smaller size, when they're developed enough. You can make small gherkin style or sweet pickles or whatever. If you was trying to do that with a slicing variety, they're not going to be mature enough, and they're probably just going to shrivel up on you. So that's why I grow just pickling cucumbers. I don't see the need in growing two different ones when the pickling cucumber does everything I want it to do. Okra's popular around here. The sun's gonna pop out, looks like. See my head up there in the shadow. Deer do love okra. I had deer tracks out here the other day. This close to the house, greenhouse there, and I've got a radio in this little shed behind me. I've been turning on at night. Purple hulls, as you can see, they're not doing real well. They've got some type of leaf issue. I don't know if it's in the seed or if it's an insect problem, but it'll eventually put on a harvest. It may not be a great harvest. I may go ahead and plant some more over here where I had the potatoes. The onions are, you know, I'm slowly harvesting them. But I plant these in double rows because they do real well for me. This is not anything I developed. I got all these instructions off of Dixondale website. They're the ones I order my onions from. They're in the business of growing onions. You know, they know how to grow onions, so that's where I got my information. And that's the reason I plant those in double rows. As you can see, they do pretty good that way. If I had better soil, things like that, they might get larger, you know, but we'll measure that other one here in a little bit. But I grow these because I enjoy it. You know, I'm not in a competition with anybody. The only person I compete with is myself. You know, I don't have anything to prove to anybody else other than myself. All right, I said I was gonna measure this onion. This here's an OD tape. See, it's got it inches there, you know, and right there too. The circumference of this thing is 16, and I don't know if I'm on the wide spot of it. 16.75 is the circumference. That's probably my largest onion. I've got several that are close. See, these are some large onions. These are the candies that I got from Dixondale. That's where I buy all my onion plants. I don't plant sets. I use plants. That's a large onion. There's some purple ones. You know, they're not as big, but for a purple onion, I think you can agree those are really nice. Hopefully this ain't too dark. I'm standing underneath the porch here. It's cloudy out, so I don't know how well that's going to show up. There we go. Hopefully that other one wasn't too dark. These are just some of the onions, you know, I've got. They're not all monsters, but for onions in Oklahoma, you know, that's a nice onion.